Hey YouTube. So I wanted to talk about Roosh V for a second because I think that the world of pickup artists is something I've never really talked about much. So Roosh is fairly well known among pickup artist circles. He has written several books. I think he has his own website. And recently he came here to Canada where he was giving a conference in Montreal. It would be in Montreal where Roosh V found himself to be the target of an assault, where a woman at a bar threw her drink at him, and a bunch of other people joined in and threw their drinks at him and pretty much chased him out of the bar.
Oh yeah.
You fucking You're a piece of shit. Yeah, piece of shit. You're enjoying your time in Montreal. Piece of shit. How dare you fucking come to Canada?
This woman also found out where he was staying and posted his address in social media, probably in hopes that she would incite a mob against him in order to heckle him and harass him out of Montreal. I'm sure it will come off as no surprise that in mainstream society and among feminazis in general, that pickup artists have often been looked down upon because what the others perceive as their objectification of women. And to be quite frank, that is to a certain degree what they do. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially since everyone objectifies everyone else and it's just a part of social interaction. But Roosh V has gotten particular hatred in both mainstream media and among feminists because of what he says. And a lot of what he says is pretty anti-feminist, and a lot of what he says is fairly controversial. For example, he says that he believes rape should be legalized in private property so that women wouldn't constantly rely on the state to protect their own well-being, and they would be more self-aware about their safety. Now, I don't think he's necessarily a rape apologist. He's probably morally fucked in the head, but not a rape apologist, in my view. But let's assume he is, taking the feminists' best case scenario, okay? Let's just say that all of his writings promote rape. Okay, then yeah, I guess it's not surprising that people would want to dunk their drinks on him. But does that make it okay? No. And it's so disappointing how all the press here in Canada around Roosh V and this Montreal woman has given this woman praise, like, oh, good job, girl. Like, you show that guy who said something you don't agree with. Yeah, you go, girlfriend. So no, I don't support what Roosh V does. I think it's not at all surprising that he had a drink thrown at his face, at the very least, after all he said. But does that make it okay? In this context of Canadian law, no it does not, and this Montreal woman should be held responsible for what she did and not put on a pedestal. Roosh V is an asshole, but he is an asshole that deserves his freedom of speech just as much as anyone else, and nobody can take that away from him unless he threatened the safety of others, which so far, to my knowledge, he has not. Now, if any woman wants to disagree with him, if any of them want to say that that's misogynistic and disgusting, I totally understand. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't get to say what he wants to say. And besides, let's just say you could hypothetically silence his views. What does that prove? Like, that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't mean that his views are wrong. That doesn't mean that your views are right. And furthermore, which is worse? That one guy and a bunch of other fringe guys of society that believe the same things he does? Or do you think it's worse that a bunch of people are praising the woman for silencing someone's freedom of speech by resorting to physical assault? Which do you think is worse? Thanks for watching, and may the truth always be heard.